Let me just use perhaps the most provocative sound to show you just how worked up Carl was about this. Take a listen.
Cook has $1 billion, and he founded Intuit. They compete with us, and they say in their letter today it's a little overlapping. Hey, we just bought Braintree. We're trying to get into the processing business. I mean, who is eBay fooling when they write these letters? They say, oh, it's just a little bit of an overlap.
Okay. So anyway, he's calling BS there on this conflict of interest, and this is in response, of course, to what eBay, to eBay's letter, which they fired back after Carl issued his open letter to shareholders yesterday. You know, again, he's getting at this conflict specifically with Marc Andreesen and Scott Cook, two members of the board. He cites some of the investments that they've made. For example, the investment Marc Andreesen made in Skype, and said, you know, look, he took this from eBay and then wound up selling it to Microsoft and made a lot of money for himself. So this, in Carl's view, is very much an issue given that Marc is on eBay's board. Listen to how he describes some of these conflicts, Betty.
I've been through a lot of these over the last 30, 40 years, and I have said in the letter, and I mean it, I have never seen one as blatant as this. You know, we've seen a lot of them, but I mean, it's almost, if it weren't sad, it would be funny.
Yeah, so he's saying he's seen a lot in his day, but he finds this one to be of a particular issue. Don't forget, Betty, they have an annual shareholder meeting coming up in April, and shareholders will be able to vote for the 4 board members that are up for renewal. So part of his effort here is to change at least 2 members of the board. He has 2 candidates that he's proposing.
Trish, tell me specifically what he said about John Donahoe, the eBay CEO.
He said, look, no one wants to work for him. No one wants to work for John Donahoe, and as a result, they cannot get the talent that they need at a place like PayPal and eBay. His point here is that PayPal needs to be spun off from eBay, that's the real future of the company. It's a separate kind of company doing a separate thing. He's also made the point that that is a company that's growing tremendously off the eBay platform, that 70% of its business is separate from eBay, and that's growing at 30%. And so as a result, it makes sense for that company to be separate if it wants to stay competitive. Part of staying competitive, in Carl's view, is that you attract the best talent. He believes that eBay has a very hard time doing that, and quote, no one wants to work for John Donahoe. That's one of the things that he said to me. Take a listen.
Skype was going to be sold by Donahoe, who, you know, I think is either naive or just asleep at the switch here.
So there you have it. Carl really sounding off on the management team there at eBay, pushing again for this spin-off of PayPal. There's going to be a precatory vote, which is non-binding, but that will happen in April. And perhaps if shareholders vote with Carl that they would like to see a spin-off, that would send a message to management.